Okay, good afternoon. So today we have a smaller groups than user. I think half of them went for the field trip. How's your week? Long? Even though we had a one day holiday. Yeah, because that's why it felt longer than. Okay, I think today is our kind of last day for Matlab. So today we just this early afternoon I'm going to where the noise came from?
Oh, my laptop
Noise?
crapped out. Or
fan noise?
yeah, so I had a hard line.
Oh, it's very loud.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's almost done.
So today I'm going to introduce how we deal with file. So we are going to create file, we are going to load file onto the Matlab and so on. And then this later afternoon I'm going to work with you using the real application, one of the real applications from my experiment. So I'm going to show how we can analyze the data using the Matlab. Okay, so let me begin with this slide here. So today I want to talk about how we save the work. Before I talk about how to write and load the data to a file, I want to first talking about because when you use the Matlab, whenever you create a variable, your variable is on the memory. So after you run any command, if you go to workplace, you see all the created variable. Sometimes you still need those kind of variable for the follow-up analysis and so on. So you can save those kind of variable as well as a file. In example here, this example, as you see that we just create 10 random variable, and then these ones just create or the 10 one. I think the ones just initialize your kind of 10 element vector with the 1. So this is the element of your vector, and this is 1. So the rand or 1 are usually used when you initialize the vector. So after you initialize the vector and assign it to p and q variable, then you can save your variable as a mat file. So in the Matlab, MAT, extension MAT represents this is a data file. So let me quickly show you this example. I opened the Matlab, but it just disappeared suddenly. Let me open up. So in here, for example, let's say I want to create like land 1 and 10. So on the right side, if you look at this workplace, you see that that p variable, and then let's say I wants 10. So right now, if I just call the 1 and 1's 10, by default, this one just create a 10 by 10 array filled in the all ones. So if you want to make 1 by 10, for example, q is equal to 1s and 1 by 10, then you can make only 1 by 10, like a one horizontal vector. Likewise, maybe you can, if you want to make a vertical vector, 10 by 1. So this 10 is number of row, and the next one is number of columns. So you can just create 10 by 1, like initialized vector. So anyway, so now after you created PQ variable, Then before you exit the Matlab, if you want to still use that P and Q variable, you can just save it. Okay, you can save it. Save. Okay, save. For example, I want to save this one like data for January 31st and Met. So Met is just extension for the data file. It's not like a file, the regular file. And then I want to save. I have to save like P. I want to save my P and Q variable. So I saved it. So where do I save this one? Please look at this working directory. So my working directory is under Documents. So that Met file is on that directory. So in the left side, if you look at this one here, so this is that 0131 Met. So now you can access that Met. For example, let me clear out everything. Okay? So I clear all. So this is a new kind of first kind of window after you run this Matlab. Then in the workspace, nothing's there. So if you want to still access your previously created variable, you can here load. Okay, load data 0131 Met. I load that Met file. So if you load and enter, now on the right side in the workspace, you see those two variables you have created, right? So you can just save or the variable you created as a Met extension file. Okay? So this is just a data file. So it's pretty simple way to just save and load. So that's why you just use save and sometimes we don't need these kind of practices. You can just save and just the file name and whatever the variable spaced by the blank, then you can save variable. And then so I show you how to load it. So you can omit these kind of parentheses. You can just say load and test or whatever name that Met. Okay, here in this kind of example here, now instead of using the Matlab formatted data type, let's say I want to save it as a txt file. So in that case, you can simply use the save and txt. So however, you have to put this ASCII because whenever you save your file, even though those are numbers, if you save as a txt file, everything should be written as like not number. It looks like that's the character. Okay, even though it looks like a number, it's actually string. It's not a number. So we have to save it as ASCII file. So if you want to save it, so let me try to save my file here as save. So save maybe data 0131. Let's say txt. I want to save as a txt. Then even I don't want to use parentheses, for example. Save and then my file name. I want to save those two variables that I have created and as an ASCII. Okay. Then if you enter it now, if you go to the folder, now you see those data 0131 txt. So if you double click, you can see what number were saved. And then if you go to Explorer, then let me try to save this one. Just looking at the, so this is the data, right? So this is the data 0101 text. So if you try to open it, now you see, because this is a P, because we created 10 random variable as a P, And the next one is a Q. We created all ones, the vertical vector 1. So this is PQ is just a stacked as of txt file. So you can actually save your file in this txt file if you want. But this is just like, this is not actually number, this is just string. Okay? When you convert it txt, so the number actually just written it's txt as a string. So actually this is not the number, this is string, just character. Okay? So this is your txt file. So again, if you want to load, it, so let me clear all. Let's clear all my workspace. Oh, here. So let's clear all my workspace, and then I want to load. Let's try to load text file data 0131 txt. And then because I saved using the ASCII file, so I want to put the ASCII like that, and let's try to do that. So this one caused error. So let me see. Yeah, so I got an error because the reason that I have error is because in here my first P was saved as a 1 by 10, but the second one is 10 by 1. So now the format wise is not matched. So when this one looking at the data set, by default when you use a load, then the Matlab tried to looking at exactly kind of same like a format, but this one the format wise the first one is a 10 column, but from the second row it has only one column. That's why the Matlab cannot read properly. So in a case you can just try to change, because now Q I already delete the Q, so let me just load it again. Okay, so I have a Q here on my workspace. So let's say I want to change my Q using the transpose it. Let me just transpose my Q so that my Q become horizontal vector. After that, I can save as a txt file. Okay, so txt file like that. And then after that, if I just open up txt file, now everything is saved as 1 by 10 columns. So this is a horizontal vector. The second Q is a horizontal vector. After that, let's just clear everything from my memory, and then let's try to load it. So load. Now I can successfully load it, right? And when you load it, if you're just looking at the data set, you still have those kind of data. So now this data has those kind of 2 by 10 column data, because your txt has 2 by 10. That's why when you just load it, txt, it just load with the same format, which is 2 by 10 here. Okay? So that's why please understand the basics way to save your variable or save your variable as a text file. So we just use this save, okay, and this is load. And when you save as a txt file, you have to include this ASCII command. Okay. Okay, now we are working our file a little bit better. So when I want to save or when I want to load it, let's use with our actual application. So this code we already wrote the last time, right? So this code just predicts what is the time and what is the x position of your ball, what is the position of y as a function of time. Right? This is just Newton's law. And then we want to create a time periods from 0 to 1 second. So we just created 11 data points. And then depending on the different time, I want to compute x and y. So if you just type this one and then I want to collect all my time, or my x, or y, or my y, so my table looks like this one. So my first column, first row is time information. My second column is my x positions. Third column, third row is my y position. Right? So in this one, I just simply shows that how it actually, if you want to save your time and x, y's value, then simply use this like a save, right? Save. And our file name, you just name your file name, and I want to save this variable because I put this one as table, and then you have to put the ASCII file, okay? So try to this code and see how whether it works as it is, or maybe I just want to practice and try to see, and then save your. We are going to use this code one more time for the next example. So please type and then use your script, okay? Use your scripts. We are going to use this code for the next example, okay? I don't think I saved my exercise 4. So let me also kind of make this one. So our initial velocity is 5, and then theta and then our t is from 0 to 1. And xy was defined like that, and table t x and y. Save and data file .txt table. So let me show you my script here. So it's the same. This is the same. In here, I want you to remember, if I want to make a table vector like that, so what does that mean? So I want to put the t and colon. So if you put the colon, first of all, if you try to run up to here, I want to run. So if you try to run up to the 7th line, t, look at the t. T is 1 by 11, which is, this is a horizontal vector. If you use this table and bracket, I want to create a new vector by combining t and x and y. So when you combine each kind of vector, if you use colon, the next one will be will go to the next line. So which means this one comes first, and next line x will come. So that's why this is t is 1 by 11, x is 1 by 11, y is 1 by 11. So t, x, y is kind of stacked. So colon is kind of going to the next line. Okay? So this is 1 by 11, 1 by 11, 1 by 11. That's why if you look at the table, let me run a 9th statement here, 9th statement. If I run it, if you look at the table, this is 3 by 11, right? T, X, and Y can stack. So now the column shows each kind of timestamps. So if you want to save it as is, it's okay. But sometimes when you look at this kind of data, I want to look at the time as a vertically. I want to look at the X and Y. I want to look at the 3 columns. So my left one is time and X and Y. That's why I transpose it. This is transpose it. So if you transpose it, so let me transpose this one. Let me run this report. If you transpose it, your table now becomes 11 by 3. You transpose it. After you transpose it, let's save it. Okay, let's save. So I want to save this one as this file name txt, and my variable that I want to save it, and then ASCII. So because this one is I want to save a txt file, so this one comes together. So if you run, now I have that data file on here. Here. So data file with txt was created. So if I go to Explorer, if I just see the data file, so you see that this is 3 by, oh not this one. So this is 11 by 3, right? So my first column is time and X and Y. But as you see this one, if you look at this one is a little bit ugly, right? So even though this one used the scientific notation, this is scientific notation, sometimes it's okay, but it doesn't look like very nice because right now the digit followed by the point is too many. So I want to control how I can write out. So for example, I can control the number of digits followed by the points. I can control how I can display my data set using different like a format, using different like command. Okay, so that's the way we use this method. So in this method, instead of using simply save function, now we just go through a little bit more detailed option, which means we use this fopen. So fopen means I want to open my file to which I want to write, okay, on which I want to write something. So that's why this is open your file. So in here I open my file using this file name, and this is another kind of parameter. That means the file access type is write plus. So write plus specify that file is open for writing and contents. So if they exist already, they are overwritten. So this is write. And then after that, your fopen assign like one file open like indicator. So you can still call that p. After that, you just want to make a label. So I want to make a 3 label: time and distance and height. This is X and Y, and the backslash n is next line. Okay, this is one label line. After that, I want to save my data table in this format. Okay, this is kind of format like a command. So what does that mean? After the percentage, the first letter represents the field width. So I want to exactly display my number using 8-digit number, and 1 is a fixed point notation. So which means I want to use only 1 digit followed by the points. Okay? So I want to use 8 widths and 1 fixed point. So this is float number. So I want to control how I display my number. So in here, for the time, I want to use 8 widths and 1 like a fixed point. And for X and Y, I want to use more digit, about 4 digit followed by points. So and so on. This is next line. But table has already 11 by 3 format. So if you use that one, this f prints will print like write all those kind of table onto this file, and after that we close the file. Okay? So let's try to let's type this one. I think you already typed, some of you already typed it, so let me just type in my code here. So feed f open. Okay. I want to let me show you how it works. So I want to file, this is data file. I want to overwrite my previous data file, and then this is write plus, and after that I want to print f, okay? Print f and feed, and then I want to put the label, so time, second, and 1 space or 2 space, and then my, let's say x, okay? X meter and y meter, okay? And then a backslash and n, which is the next line. And after that, print f, feed, and then I want to control how I can display my number. So 8.1f and 13.4f and 13.4f float number and backslash n, and I want to write down my table. Okay? Table. And after that, I want to close my file. I want to close feed. So let me try to run this one and see if it works. Print fprint okay, so I just ran this kind of code. So when I open my updated data file, it looks like that. Because here I add one label, this time x and y, okay, and this is a backslash n is the next line, okay, next line. And the next line, I use this kind of format, number format stops here. So this is percentage 8.1. That's why you see that only one fixed data points, fixed one digit followed by the points. And this one, I use the 4 digit, so 4 digit followed by the points, right? So this is 13.4, 13.4 floating points. And backslash n means once they write down one line, then it goes to the next one, and so on. So this table has 11 by 3, that's why this was 11 by 3, and close it. So I think this one looks much better, right? So sometimes we use scientific notation, but for many different cases, we just use the number like that. So we can control how many digits you want to display out. So that's why, even though this is very simple way to save it, sometimes you want to use this different way, alternative way to save your file. Any questions? Any questions? Good. And then since I began to talk about print f, let me show you a couple more ways to utilize the printf. So printf formats data and display the result on the screen. So printf not only write down into file, because you place printf after you open the file, that's why this one write something into your file. But if you just use printf in this way, so in this example, we just define create a two variable a1, a2, and this is just a string. This is the one just a string variable. So in this one, x is this is kind of format, like a format spec, and meter or format spec. So if you just use this one with printf, so now you put this kind of string include two like a format spec. Then you have a two variable. So if you just run this one, you can display something like this one. So x is 0.9 meter, or this is a millimeter, something like that. Because this is 0.9. So this A and A2, this is A2. So 99 is over there. And then this is A2 is the second one. So A2 is 8.3. So that's why it has a 3-digit point followed by point. This is 3, this is 2. So basically, you can include whatever the variable into the string using this kind of format. So the printf, even though this is a string variable, if you include this kind of format spec, then you can actually make your number reflected on this string with this kind of format spec. So that's why we have, for example, this is A1, A2 is A1 9.9, and then let me see how this is going to match each other. A2 is 8.8, and this is 8. So when I look at this one, maybe I need to figure out why this one actually, how these two numbers kind of matching in these two. So when I look at this one, it seems like this one take care of A1 first, because A1 has a two variable. That's why two variable is kind of filled into this two format spec. And A2 has like a 4 value. So A2 just take care of this first column and second column, something like that. So there might be some specific protocol how this format printf assign its variable into these two format specs. But I just want to show you that we have different ways to use printf. Okay? So just be aware of it. And then that's why in here, in our code, let's modify our code a little bit better. So when you display out the time and my x and y, I want to display out using the label and then also some format things. Okay? So let's try to modify your program a little bit here. So I want to use this kind of code here. So in here, I want to use printf. I just follow this one. So the reason that I put the \n is, if I start anything, I want to make the next line. So this is just the next line. Okay? So this is a \n, and then a time s, then and the backslash. And after that, we have a 11 data points, right? So I want to just make a for loop. So I want to just for loop 11 times. So for loop k is equal to 1 and length of t. So total length of t is 11. So I want to just repeat 11 times for loop. So f print f, and then I want to specify that formatting. Okay? And then I want to show my time and x, k, and y, k. So what is this one? So this is because I'm kind of repeating this one. The k starts from 1, 2, 3, 4. So t1, t2, t3, these are index. Right? So whenever I run, I want to access my first time and second time, third time by changing the index number. These are index. So after that, okay. So I type something like this one, like that. So if I run, when I run this one, I can display this one onto my console because fprintf just print out your result to by default console. But if you open your file, it will display out to your file. But in here I didn't put any f open, so that's why when I just run this one just display your value to your console here. Okay? So that's why now we can control the exact digits that we want to display out. So far I just talked about how we simply save our variable. So we use the save function, we use fopen function. But when you use fopen function, after you open the file, you may want to use fprintf. So in any case, we can control how I display out my number. And now I want to show you how you load your file. So let me just clear out everything. So from I want to clear all from my memory. So I want to clear all the variable. So I now clear everything. Okay. So from now on, what I want to do is that because I already saved this data file in this format, I want to load this data file into time and x and y onto my Matlab. Okay. So how can I load it? So this is my file. So I want to load it. So when you load it, okay, try to do this way. So I want to open the file, right? I want to open the file, fopen. And what is the file name? My file name is data file txt. Data file txt. So data file txt. And at this time I want to read it. So that's why the permission is just to read. Okay? I want to just to read. I want to tamper with those kind of file. I want to just to read it. So my authority is just reading it. I cannot write or overwrite the file, okay? Once I open it. And after that, once you open it, I have to skip my first label because this is not number, right? I have to skip that. So that's why one way to skip one line is fget L. So fget line. This is fget line. So I want to just read one first line. This is just a read and then do nothing. So this is just read one line. Okay? Because I want to skip only one line. After that, I want to use this one, scan F. I want to scan. I want to scan through those my file. Okay. I want to still put my feed, open file indicator feed, and then I want to read as a float number because I know that each row has a 3 number. So I want to just type just float, percent float. This is just float number, not integer. And then after that, I want to move next line, so \n. After that, I know that my table has 3 by, I know that my text one, this one here, this one has 11 by 3, right? So this one actually, when you scan it, this one just read the first 3 and the next is first 3 and so on like that. It would read something like that. So in here, I want to make sure that I want to read first 3. So this one, I want to specify what's the size of the data I want to scan. So this one is 3 by 11 like that. So I want to just specify to my scan f function, I want to scan this much data structure. Okay. So I want to specify that. After that, I want to close my file. So let's run. So I clear out all memory. So I just try to read this one. Now, if you run this one, your table. So let me just looking at what value I have in table. So my table has these values. Okay? So my table, because I read this one is 3 by 11 format, that's why your table has a 3 by 11 format, 3 by 11. So, so in the console, if you type the table, now you see that do you see something wrong in here? Let's see. I see something wrong here. So if you look at this one, can you see something wrong in our output table? Yes. Anyone? So when I scan in this way, when I look up my output table, actually my first line, first column, first row is not time. So if you look at this one, this is time. 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.4, 0.4. From here to here is time. And from here to here is my x. From here to here is y. Actually, this is kind of mixed, rather than separated by the row. This is not my intention. This is not I want to read, because this is my file. This is my file. So I want to read in such a way so that later I can see, I can put my time into first column or x to the second column and so on. But this one, everything kind of starts from here and then just end here. This is all the time. So it seems like this one just read my first column first, and then put everything in this kind of format here. Okay. So what I want to do here, okay, so let me try to change the my format like that. Let me try to do that. Let's see how it looks like. So I think 11 by 3 is correct way to do it. So because in here I use the three format spec, float number, and backslash n. So this one read my data, this one, and go to next one, this one. But I want to read my table. I want to scan my all the open file, and then assign order value with this format 11 by 3. So this is 11 by 3. That's why your table has 11 by 3 here. So this is all the time and x's and y's. So even though you don't know, you're not confident in using this kind of fscanf f or f open. Sometimes in order to give more control to your displaying of the number, sometimes you may use it. So if you want to use that, maybe you can refer to my slide lecture notes, or maybe you can go to the Matlab and you can just type like a doc or help f print f or f open or f scan. Okay? So if you just use help, and then you see a lot of example here. So there's a lot of example, and then that's the way you can actually figure out how to follow their syntax. Okay? So today my purpose is not make you kind of feel comfortably using this kind of command, but at least I want to let you know that we have such a command, okay, for your future reference. But now I don't want you to get impressions that opening and writing file is kind of very tricky in the Matlab. We have a much better way, because as Matlab upgraded their version, they made very simple, like convenient functions for our users. So from now on, let's just use this function, okay? The read matrix. So read matrix do many different things. So sometimes your file, in addition to number, sometimes your file has like a label as the first row, label on first column. But if you use the read matrix, the Matlab automatically remove all those kind of label for you. So they just only extract the number. So let me show you the example here. So instead of using this kind of for line, if you want to read those kind of data file, you can do this way. So table to, for example, table to read matrix and data file and txt. Let me just use simple one line. Let's do that. Okay? If you do that, read matrix, I run it, then look at that, table 2. So your table 2 is exactly the same as table 1, right? Oh no. So right now we have some problem here too. So when I use the read matrix here, data file has this format. So this one reads, it's very interesting. Very interesting. So when I read the matrix, I have some problem here. So let me me see. Data file text. I have Let me see whether read matrix allow me to control the dimension of data that I read. Let me see. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay. So my data file is already messed up here. Why I messed up my data file? So this is my first column is not time. How can I mess up my data file? That's why. So let me recreate my data file. So here. Let me try to recreate it. Data file. Okay, table is okay, and then so this one, when I run this one doesn't work as I expected. My table is 11 by 3. So in order to do that, I have to reverse the table. Okay, so table is 3 by 11. So I have to make this one 3 by 11. So 3 by 11. So when I do that, now I can make my first column is all the time. So doing that, if I just read this one, so just the one line, not this one, just the one line, just read matrix. One line, that should be enough to read everything from your data. So now your table has all time column and X column and Y column. So this one even get rid of my first label automatically, right? Because I want to read matrix, so that's why this one already know your intention to load only the number. So it kind of automatically remove all the label and then just read your matrix, whatever format you have here. Okay? So from now on, let's just remember and use the read matrix. Okay? Read matrix. So do the exercises. So go to the course website and download exercise Excel data. So this is Excel data. So try to read this data and then assign into the score variable. So this Excel data shows different students' identity here, and these are their scores from 10 different tests. Okay. So this is just Excel data. So go to course website, download this one, and read it. So let me do that too. Go to the course website, bit.ly, and today is January 31st. So this is Excel data. So I saved it. I saved it under download. So when I go to my Matlab, I want to change this directory because I download onto the download. So see users. I think this one user is administrator. Public. Let me double check. So download. So this download is what is the file path? User. Okay. So let me just copy. Okay, so now access down. This one Excel exercise. Okay, this I didn't show you. So this is my Excel exercise. So in order to after downloaded, I try to find where is the working directory for download. So I just change my working directory, and this is Excel data. Okay. After that. Now I want to just to read. So I want to read and assign all the data into scores. So read matrix and exercise Excel data as XLS and semicolon. So before I run this one, let me clear all the memory. Clear all. So let me run this two lines. So if I run it. Now, on the right side, a workspace, you have 10 by 11. I told you that I have a 10 students data, 11 test score. So if you look up the scores, it has none. Why it has a none? So one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. Oh, okay. So read matrix, get rid of the first row, but unfortunately it does not remove the first column. So that's why the first column has a kind of string. That's why this one just read as a non-number, none. So help, none. So NaN is not a number. So because my first column is not a number. But don't worry, so I have this not a number, but from second one I have all the 10 test score. So I need to get rid of the first column, okay? So how can you get rid of your first column? So let's try to get rid of remove. So you can just do that like this one. So I want to reference my first column, so which means or row and my first column, right? So this one should be 0, nothing. So this is the way you can get rid of all things. And enter. So when I run this one, after you run, let's look at the scores. Now the first NaN is gone, right? Okay, then I know that my first column is the test 1, second column is test 2, and so on. So how can we split out? The split out each column to test 1 and test 2 and so on. So test 1 is equal to, how can you split? And how can you assign only the first column to the test 1? How can you do that? So I want to only specify, I want to only split, and then I want to assign my first column to test 1. So how can you make the kind of indexing one?
Maybe 1 comma colon.
1 comma colon, yes. Thank you. So now if you look at the test 1, it has a 10 value. So how can you get the average of 10 score for students? We have 10 students right now, right? Because these are all like 10, so the raw number represents different students' ID. We have 10 students, and these are 10 test score. So I want to get the average for each 10 students. How can you get the average for 10 students? So for example, I want to get the average for the first, let's say students 1 average. I want to get the average for student 1. So in the Matlab, in order to get the average, you can use the mean function. So I want to get the mean function. After that, what do you want to do then? You have to get the mean of your first row. Okay? Your first row. So that's why this one scores 1 and column, right? Well, this is the test.
Wouldn't that give you the column?
First row. Let me see. I think test 1, this one should be colon and 1, right? So let me correct this one. Test 1 should be score and colon and 1. And then when you get the first row, and this is my first row and entire column, right? So this is my 10 scores from first students. So if you run this one, you can get the average for first students. Okay, do you kind of understand this process? Then can you get the every 10 students average then? Will you repeat this one? So how many times do you have to repeat this one? 10 times. So when you repeat 10 times, what kind of flow control do you want to use it? For loop, right? For loop. So let's use a for loop. So I know that this one I repeat 10 times. So k is equal to 1 to 10. Okay? And after that, when I get the mean, I try to use this one as an index number, because when I change my index from 1 to whatever, this k is still kind of keep increasing. Right? In that case, I can just looking at the kth row. After that, I have to actually dump this data into a student average. Okay, so maybe we can just define maybe. Let's say we defined one variable, but I want to also put the index number here. So in this one, if I make a for loop like that, so when k is increasing, the row number, the row is kind of indexed by this k, and then I want to dump all the average value into this variable. I just use a k, but before you run this for loop, I didn't actually create average score yet. Okay? So that's why the good habits of the programming is before you run the for loop, we can initialize our average score, right? So our average score, I want to initialize this one as a zeros, and I have to put the 1 by 10. Or 10 by 1. Let's say 10 by 1. 1 by 10 or 10 by 1, either way. So for example, like that. So which means I initialize my average score with the 10 elements, but zeros are filled in already. And after that, I just run this one. Okay. So if you run this one, look at the average scores. So I have a 10 average score, right? We just repeat 10 times. So everything was indexed by k. Okay, so let's take some time break. Okay, let's take some break, and then let's continue after maybe 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes. If you have any question, please let me know.